What's up, guys? It is finally time for the MCX build. So, as you can see, finally have everything. You saw the build of the compression. You guys saw the build for the hop-up assembly. This footage was deleted on accident as informed in the NGRS build the last time. The MOSFET is already been installed, guaranteed works. You can see that I already installed the Perun Hybrid Mosfet sticker for the selector. If you guys don't know how to do it, it's extremely straightforward, especially for VFC bodies. The selector, it literally just sits right on there and it works. Parts are going to be in the description, but as originally discussed, we have the Perun clicker for the Perun V2 hybrid. We have a gate trigger that I'm going to test out. It's their aluminum CNC trigger that you can adjust. And then we have the Real Deal Airsoft, his 2025 gear set that I'm going to attempt to use. It's the 13-to-1 gear set. They shimmed really well. You may not have seen, but I did remove 2 teeth from the pickup side, as well as 1 tooth from the other side here, the release side. As stated, the motor that's going to be used is a T238, the blue non-adjustable. It's the 2800 RPM motor. All this is going in a retro arms, the bottom half of the retro arms shell. F.L.T bushings were installed here. They're the low profile and they have been epoxied. So that's all done. We don't have to wait in between those. And then the motor grip that I'm using is the PTS. I believe EPG is what they're called. And the bottom shell for that as well. This is going to be pretty straightforward, cut and dry, since it is just a lower. It's going to be extremely easy. So what I'm going to do is just basically start to reinstall everything here, and yeah, that's kind of it. So I'm going to set the left side off, and we're going to put in our V2 hybrid here. So this is just going to set in, and it should fit. This is a front wired gun, so I did get the front wired. With that being said, I'm going to route, well, I'm going to actually install this first. So I'm going to grab our screwdriver set with a star bit. And I'm going to install the supplied retro arms screw. Secondly, I'm going to route my motor wire, the negative motor wire, underneath here. And retro arms does have the cutout for the wire, and set that there. And our positive lead just sits nice and snug right here, making sure that our wires are away from the trigger pin hole right there. Now what I can do is bring our trigger and clicker over here. Normally what you do prior to installing your MOSFET is shim your gears here. So grab our gear grease here and our brush. Normally I have pre-filled syringes with a brush on top that I use, but I do not have that for this build, so I'm going to lube the shaft and the meshing surfaces of my gears. Doing the bevel now. And don't forget the bottom side of our spur, which isn't going to have contact, but I do it for good measure. Again, the teeth and meshing surfaces of your gear set need to be lubed, and you don't need too much because this will go everywhere. Again, our faces on the spur should never meet the face of the bevel. Packing some grease into, again, that meshing surface for the teeth. And our shaft. Now we can set these in. I'm gonna remove the grease from those surfaces that I know don't need it. The flats, because they should never contact, as I had stated. We are going to do the teeth of our sector here, especially where we removed those teeth so they do not rust. And we will also place our anti-reversal latch as well. Which I will lube just the meshing surfaces and the shaft as well. And place in our gearbox, pulling back so I can place my bevel and reverse so that it locks into place there. Now what I can do is I can install this peg into this safety hole, making sure that our wires are not pinched. And then I also like to just barely grease the shaft of my trigger. Kind of folding. Because we have the Perun Quicker, we do not have to worry about trigger spring of any sort. Now that that's done, I am going to lube just the surfaces of these the bushings, and making sure everything is in its place. We will attempt to close this up here. using a little bit of blue Loctite for our screws, just to make sure they don't undo themselves here. Making sure our wires are out of the way. We will tighten this down. Perfect. Then with our selector plate here, I'm just going to hit our rails with a little bit of grease as well. Go in from the back here. There we go. Lube up a little bit on our pinion as well. All right. And just like that, our gearbox is ready to be installed into our body here. So do that now. You may have noticed as well, there will be a different paint job on this body. So if there's a cut in a different body, it's still the MCX, it's just painted at this point. Back at it again. All right. So like I said, this is painted. Yeah, so we're just gonna basically thread this in here. It should be extremely straightforward. Pull this pin back out. So just slide in here. I'm gonna push this pin in for now just to hold everything in place. Put the wires out of the way. Put the body pin in here. Should just slide in just like that. Alright, now we're here. Gears spin freely. Cool to cool. Now what I'm gonna do, put my motor grip on. I guess it doesn't matter. I was gonna preset my screws, but I'm not gonna do that, so. Grip screw 1. Grip screw 2. goes in and out, which it should. It's a little bit tighter, which is totally fine. And put our mag catch in. The mag catch is always the hardest part for me. Come on, buddy. There we go. Got it. And now our motor goes in. One. Two. Wires out of the way. Look at that. All right. Make sure motor height and everything is good before I put the upper on here. Sounds so good. Oh, that's a... Whoa! Alright, that's a big screw. Let's see how she does here. I'm so excited. All right. I'll try and route these wires wires the best that I can here, because this is a front wired gun. Out of the way so we don't hit them with our magazines when we reload. All right, let's see if she feeds now that we have a good hop up in here. Let's get a mag.
$26 rounds a second.